decorated Culpeper police officer now finds himself on the wrong side of the law. Officer Daniel Harmon-Wright is in jail tonight, charged with murder for shooting and killing an unarmed woman back in February. A special grand jury indicted the officer and his mother yesterday. Our Peggy Fox joins us live in Fauquier County with the very latest. The officer and his mother. Peg, what's up?
Well, I can tell you this, that special grand jury spent an entire month interviewing 45 witnesses related to the shooting and looked at 100 pieces of evidence. The result, Culpeper police officer Daniel Harmon-Wright has been suspended without pay and is here in the Fauquier County Jail.
His initial reaction was shock and horror. He was on the verge of nausea.
Dan Hawes escorted his client, Culpeper police officer Daniel Harmon-Wright, to jail after a special grand jury indicted him for murder and 3 other related counts. The 32-year-old is charged in the shooting death of 54-year-old Patricia Cook, who was sitting in her Jeep Wrangler in a Catholic school parking lot February 9th.
She had been wandering around in this religious school, refused to identify herself.
Harmon-Wright and Cook wound up in a confrontation. He told investigators she caught his arm in the window and was dragging him when he shot her 6 times. Special prosecutor Jim Fisher says it didn't happen that way.
And that statement was partially accurate, but the terms trapped and dragged were used. These were not descriptors that I would have used in connection with that particular press release.
And he's being held there. He can't free himself.
Harmon-Wright's attorney says it's true, he wasn't dragged. He says it was his hand that was caught in the window and that he'd stepped up onto the Jeep's running board as Cook started driving away.
There's another thing. I keep hearing this thing that the woman was unarmed. Well, she's driving a vehicle that weighs about 4,000 pounds and she's going between 5 and 10 miles an hour. That has more kinetic energy than a bullet.
Harmon-Wright's mother, Bethany Sullivan, is also charged relating to forging public documents in an attempt to purge her son's personnel file of negative information.
Rage. I mean, after that incident, I've seen him since. He still had the look of rage.
Jeanette Price wonders if her complaint against Harmon-Wright could have been altered. This is a hospital record showing an injury to her wrist that she says she suffered when Harmon-Wright pushed her in 2008. Now, those forgery charges against Harmon-Wright's mother, Bethany Sullivan, have nothing to do with the shooting. They stem from when she was the police chief's secretary and had access to her son's personnel files. We'll stay on this story and we'll be at his hearing next Friday. I'm Peggy Fox, live in Fauquier County. Back to you, Leslie.